Hello and welcome to the Banker's Tech Talk video series, now in its 5th year of tracking fintech developments. There are more than 150 fintechs in the series, and you can watch them on thebanker.com/techtalks. I'm Joy Macknight, Managing Editor at The Banker, and this week my guest is Nicole Anderson, co-founder and Managing Director of Redsand Group, which provides the resources and know-how to launch a viable and investable business in green fintech. Nicole, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Joy. Great to be here.
So you said in a recent blog that the world has reached this sort of critical tipping point for sustainable finance. What do you mean by that?
I think it's predominantly the recognition that the entire financial value chain is, for the first time ever, having to look at the metrics, the impact of how finance is flowing, first of all, into the industries it needs to that are needing to be fostered in the new green economy, how finance aids the transition of economies from brown to green, and of course it's vital that they do that. And there's a huge amount of risk associated with that. So there is a capital market implication, there is an insurance implication, there is a myriad of investment management, wealth management considerations. And of course there is the consumer and how we perceive value and what is important to us, I think is becoming more and more evidential in terms of people's decisions about how they live their lives and greener choices. And that includes our financial choices, where we save our money, where we put our money. We're beginning to ask questions about where is every dollar or euro or pound going that I put aside? Is it going to do something that is impactful in a positive way? So when you bring all of these together, I think it's a super exciting time, and of course there's a compelling event, right? Based on all the data that's out there, we are in the decade of change. So there is a timestamp on change. So that's why I believe this is this major tipping point.
Okay, and then how can green fintech really work to solve this problem?
Well, if you unpick the traditional financial value chain from capital markets to the consumer, you and I, there are a myriad of ways in which based technology, enabling fintech technology can help unlock scrutiny and analysis of where risks are. So, for example, the insurance aspect of sustainable finance means that risk models are going to have to change. Again, if you look at the way in which the pressure is mounting on fund managers, in order to do that, capital markets and big insurers are having to look at technology to help them scrutinize the way in which they derive risk, the way in which they analyze the flow of funds at a hefty, lofty level, how they create portfolios and optimize their portfolios to ensure that they eliminate or get to the bottom of potential greenwashing. So there's a huge opportunity for new ways in which fintech technology can aid that. Bringing, for example, the financial value chain closer to the physical supply chain. That's not been done before. And then, of course, you've got new digital platforms that are coming into play that are actually breaking up these very sticky, historic, costly ways of actually giving access to consumers in terms of how they could invest, how you could bring, asset classes that have been precluded from people investing before, such as real estate, such as capital-intensive projects, construction industry, etc. How can you make those much more liquid and more investable, but with a sustainability lens? Because people are going to care where they put money.
Okay. Obviously, Redsand looks really deep into this. What is your business model and what would you say are your big successes to date?
So we work with corporate mandates and have done for a long time, for the last 8 years, in helping either build or source investable opportunities, right? So we are a mixture of venture builders, creators of products and businesses ourselves. So we actually have lived and breathed a number of projects where we've built businesses to challenge the norm on behalf of corporate clients and to shine the light essentially on what their future could hold if they could reinvent. But we also are now moving into a model where we are sourcing, because there's such a demand, sourcing outside innovation in the form of entrepreneurial ideas and innovation that we can capture and mold to corporate mandates. So we triage all of that in our business model by being able to actually really aid the movement of the kind of green enterprise agenda. And we've worked predominantly in financial services, but now with sustainability being where potentially finance unlocks or needs to unlock scrutiny and value in the industries it supports, we're starting to see our mandate shift to a number of different industries such as energy and construction.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your insights, Nicole.
Great. Thank you very much.